Garden lighting really is one of the great inventions of recent times. What it basically means, apart from adding charm and romance and all those things to your garden, it also means basically that you can use your garden, well, at night, far more through the year than you've ever dreamt of. When you're having a party, garden lighting is just fantastic. So what we've done, we've actually got 4 different sorts of kits here that are fairly readily available throughout Australia. We're going to look at what you pay, roughly what they are, how you put them together, and how good they are at the end. Now, the first one we're looking at here is Analogue. This is a $90 kit. As you can see, there's 6 light fittings with it. And this is actually quite an easy one. It's made out of plastic. They're just ordinary globes, incandescent if you want to call them that, but ordinary globes. And you just basically clip and screw the whole thing together, and it punctures the wire as you tighten the fitting up, and so you don't have to worry about any funny connections. 2 little prongs go through, and anyone can just screw it up and put whatever light fittings you want wherever you want. The next one here is Landia. Again, the same sort of thing. Basically, you've got plastic fittings. It again just sort of screws or clips together, and the wiring is done automatically when you join it up. This set is the Ring Grip Garden Safe Kit for $95. There's a funny looking bit to it here. That's actually a light sensor. Now, all of these first 3 kits come with light sensors and timers, so they can turn on at a certain time of night or whatever, or off, or whatever it is you want. But this one is also plastic, but the light bulbs in these are different. These are those halogen ones, which put out more light, if you like, for less watts. If you want to go up market a bit, this one is put out by HPM. Now, the HPM one is metal, basically aluminium, and you've also got those dichroic lights or halogen lights, which put out a tremendous amount of light. This one, for a similar sort of kit, is $300. But now, the proof of the pudding is always in the eating, so what we're going to do now is sit down, have a cup of coffee, wait for it to get dark, and see what each kit does.
Thank the Lord for the night time. Forget the day. The day of uptight time.
Well, this is me here. It's now, as you can guess, night time. We've had quite a bit of fiddling. We haven't just sat down and had a cup of coffee like I thought. A lot of these little snap-on connections really aren't very good, and we've had quite a bit of fiddling to actually get the connections working, so I'm not exactly over the moon about that part of it. But let's now at least look through the various ones and see what's working and what's not. Now, the first group here are the Analogue ones. You might remember them. Remember, that was $90 for your kit, and they're not bad. For $90, we've got them all working. There were no spare globes with those. If you're buying the kit, you'd want to buy a few spare globes, because if there's a globe broken, you're going to have problems. The next one, I've got to admit, I don't really like. This is your Landia one, $70, and there's very little light. Phil, if you actually go into the gum tree there and just have a look at that. Now, that's one of the lights shining on the gum tree. Look, the camera is making this look a lot better than what it is. There's hardly any light, and if these lights were along a path with my ageing vision, I think I'd probably break my leg. So, for the $20 you save in this set, I really, you know, I must admit, I wouldn't have got those. The Analogue's a lot better. This set's not bad either. This is your Ring Grip one, and again, you're looking at $95 for this set, and they're not bad. They put out quite a deal of light. I think they're a slightly more robust fitting, and overall, to me, that's, you know, quite a good set. But again, all those first 3 were, the connections weren't perfect. Oh, the other thing, Phil, where is it? This one, notice it's not working. Now, that globe was no good when we put it in. No spare globes with that particular set. And if Mr. Ring Grip is listening, gee, a couple of spare globes in there wouldn't have cost you that much. It would have been nice if you'd done it. Now, the last one here, remember, these are the sort of aluminium type ones. This is the HPM. This is very expensive compared to the others, $300, but they're good. They're putting out a lot of light. These are your halogen lights, as was the previous one, and they're a good, robust fitting. They're much the better looking of any of them. But frankly, for just practical light, you don't gain an enormous amount. They're certainly the most stylish. I think those mushroom lights are divine. But look, most of us don't have money to wash down the drain. What are our recommendations? Well, quite frankly, for me, either the Ring Grip is a good one, or the first one we looked at, that Analogue one. I think that's not bad at all. For around the, whatever that was, sort of $90, $95, I reckon that's reasonable value for money. If you can afford a little bit more and you want something really classy, well, certainly that last one over here with these glorious little mushrooms and all the rest, HPM, that one does look very good. Garden lighting's wonderful. but be careful when you buy lights because they're not all as good as the other ones that you might get. Coming up after the break, Peter Valder looks at a really beautiful Australian native plant, and we'll do our indoor plant makeover, making indoor plants look really good.
It's claimed that garden lights can attract insects, particularly moths and beetles, the larvae of which can damage your lawn.